Hello, my love. Welcome to another episode of Blisstopia podcast. I am your host, Mercedes Castellani. And today we have a birthday special because this week it's my birthday. So I decided to celebrate with you, share with you some of the reflections that I have in my heart, in my mind right now, as I approach into this new year around the sun. And also, I want to share the best gift that I have been able to offer to myself so far ever in my life. So let's start by the very beginning. I was born on October 22nd. This year I'm turning 34 years old. So this is going to be my 34th journey around the sun. It's a very, very special year because I think this is the year in which many of my dreams, my manifestations at a personal level are going to come into fruition. For example, starting my own family, maybe getting engaged, maybe getting married. So I think this year is going to bring many, many beautiful things. And I have a really good feeling, especially on the personal side, but also, of course, on the professional side. But I think many important things are going to happen this year on the personal side. And I want to share, out into the world, my age. I think as women, we are trained to have all of these distorted ideas around age. We are supposed to be always young, always pretty, always in our 30s, not even in our 30s, always in our 20s. And I am kind of against all of that. I'm kind of against women feeling ashamed of their age. So I'm 34. I might be young for some people. I might be old for some people. I don't care. That's my age. And I am super happy and grateful that I have had 34 years, 34 trips around the sun. And I will continue to be this proud and this grateful when I am 84. I'm going to be telling you on a podcast or whichever format we use at that time in 50 years. I'm going to be telling you I'm 84 years old and I'm so happy that I'm 84, because I think we need to be proud and we need to be grateful of each of the years that we have. And we need to let go of all of that conditioning that tells women that aging has something wrong with it. I think age is a sign that we've lived, is a sign that we've learned, is a sign that we've evolved. And I have really strong opinions on age, and I have really strong opinion on women hiding the signs of their age. So I'm starting to notice that my body is not the same as it used to be in my 20s. For example, I don't know. If I eat a little bit more, I will definitely see it the next week on my body somewhere. Whereas in my 20s, I would eat maybe a little bit more and that would be easily gone. But I still think that as long as my body is healthy, as long as I feel energized, it's amazing. It's totally fine. And I am pretty much against all of the treatment and Botox and things that women do in order to hide their age, as if it was a sign of what? A sign of shame. I still don't have many wrinkles, but when I will start having them, I'm going to wear them proudly. First of all, I think they're beautiful. And second, I think it's a sign that we've lived. It's a sign that we have smiled. It's a sign that we have been in awe with things. It's a sign that we've been surprised. So I'm 34, super proud of my age, and I am going to continue to be proud no matter my age. In my 44th birthday, in my 54th birthday, in my 60s, in my 70s, I'm always going to be proud of my age. And all of the attachments that we give to a certain age are just a story. So this is my encouragement. If someone needs to hear this is my encouragement to get rid of all of the conditioning around age and to build your own story around age. For me, as I'm in my 30s, I feel like this is the most confident I have ever been, the most free I have ever been in my life, the most successful and happy that I have ever been in my life, the most loved that I have ever been in my life. So for me, the 30s are really the best age. And I can definitely see how things get better, when you go from your 20s to your 30s. And I will continue to find beautiful things. So when I walk into my 40s, I'm going to walk into my 40s proud of the age and what I've lived and who I've become. And I've heard from women who are in their 40s, in their 50s, that they just keep getting more and more and more confident. So if that is possible, I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward for the next, 10 years of my life when I'm in my 40s, when I'm 44. So that's just to say, to share with you what I really think about age, and also the things that we need to let go around age, because there's a lot of conditioning for women. You will notice that this does not apply to a man. A man in the 30s, in the 40s, who cares? All of the conditioning goes for women, because we're supposed to be always in our 20s, always innocent, always young, always impressionable, always in our maiden archetype, in the little princess that needs help. No, there's a lot of women out there who are in different seasons of life, in very different archetypes, in the queen, the mother, the wise woman, the wild woman. So I encourage you to really take your age and take it to the next level. Make it the best it could ever be. I'm in my 34 trip around the sun, and I'm gonna make it the absolute best that I can. I'm going to be the happiest, the most loved, the most successful woman I can be in my 34th trip around the sun. So that's just my view on age and all of the conditioning that there's for women around age. The second thing that I want to share is that basically I was born on the 22nd, very early in the morning, which I think explains why I'm an early bird and I like to wake up always early. And I'm technically still a Libra, because the 22nd of October is still Libra, but I'm in the cusp with Scorpio. And the more I've aged, the more I've started to realize that I also have many, many characteristics of Scorpio. So, some of the things that I'm taking from Libra, for example, is my love for beauty. Everything that I do, my business, in my home, in my body, everything that I do needs to be pretty. It has to be aesthetically pleasing. Otherwise, I can't. Everything needs to be pretty. There has to be harmony. There has to be peace around me. I typically don't like conflicts, even though with age, I've learned that sometimes conflict is important and sometimes conflict can make things better. So we need to learn how to manage conflict. But before, when I was in my early 20s, I would definitely avoid conflict at all costs, which is a very Libra thing to do. But I've learned to overcome that. I am very, very good at diplomacy. I can literally be friends with two opposite people, and I will genuinely have a connection with both of them. Typically, for example, in the school, if there were two groups, for example, I'm thinking about my business school. If there were two groups, I would be the person who would be friends with both groups, because I would connect with a group for certain things, and then I would connect with another group for other things, very different things. So I've always been, that's very Libra. We can definitely see the bright side on different things, and it's not like we're fake or we're trying to be someone that we're not. It's just that we are capable of connecting with very, very different people and finding the beauty and finding, the interesting parts about different people, different groups, different activities, etc. And we take the best of different worlds. And I think also as part of my Libra side. Libra is an air sign, and it's all about the ideas of things. And I'm a very creative person. I live in the world of ideas. I've learned also with time to execute them, to manifest them. And that's probably my Virgo rising, which basically what it does is that I will dream in my Libra world. I'm like, oh my God, this would be so amazing. This would be so cool. This would be so pretty. And then my Virgo, it's like, okay, bitch, but what's the timing? What's the budget? How are you going to do it? What are the steps? Like, what does this actually mean? But my Libra part is bringing all of this inspiration and ideas, and also living in kind of this ideal world that I create for myself. And then I will make it a reality. But it's kind of first in my mind somehow. I see it first in my mind, and then I see it in my life. But then as I've aged, I've also started noticing that I have a lot of things that come also from the Scorpio world. And Scorpio is a sign of depth and transformation. It's also a sign of death and rebirth. And it's a very, very deep, I would say, complex character. My father was a Scorpio. Some of my good friends are also Scorpios. And it's a very deep sign. It's a very emotional sign. It's a very intuitive sign. It's a highly empathetic sign. They can literally read people's minds. And I think with age, I've actually started to embrace my Scorpio side a little bit more. So I do consider myself a very deep person. I can have both. I can have the Libra, shallow, give me luxury, give me the good life, but I can also have a lot of depth. And that's where my wisdom comes from. I have a lot of intuition that I use with my clients. I love transformation, seeing a person transform themselves, transform myself, die and be reborn every couple of years. And Scorpio is also a sign of alchemy. It's a sign that can turn pain into purpose. It's a sign that it's deeply, deeply spiritual, mystical. It's a sign that it's very, very sexual. And my sexuality definitely comes from the Scorpio side, not the Libra side. So there's a lot that I've more recently, in this past, I would say, maybe 5 years, I've started to embrace much more these Scorpio tendencies. And I'm actually, now in balance as a good Libra. I found my balance between those two. And I think they complement one another very well, because Libra it's a sign that it's a lot in their head. It's an air sign, so it's very connected to the mind and the reason and the ideas and the ideals. And then Scorpio is much more on the emotions, on the present, on the intuition, on the connection with another person, on the real, honest, emotional connection with another person. So now I found the balance between those two, and let's see how it will continue to evolve in the years to come. So this week was my birthday. It was on Tuesday, 22nd. My mom was here visiting me all the way from Argentina, my home country, where she lives, where I grew up, where I was born and where I grew up. And she came to visit me in Paris, and we had a lovely dinner to celebrate my birthday. I basically booked one of these boats that can take you around the River Seine in Paris, and then you're on this boat and you have an amazing view over the Eiffel Tower, over Notre Dame, over many amazing, beautiful buildings, over Musée d'Orsay, over all of these beautiful, beautiful buildings which are located in Paris. So basically, I booked that for my mom and for Fabrice. So it was kind of a touristic thing to do. Of course, there's other restaurants which are a little bit more, I don't know, maybe a little bit more underground or less touristic. But I thought, you know what? My mom is here. So it was my birthday, but it was also kind of a gift for her to enjoy her time in Paris. So it just seemed, with my mom here, it seemed, and it was the perfect idea and the perfect way to celebrate my birthday in a very, very intimate way. And then this weekend, I'm going to celebrate it with a small group of friends. We're going to go and have dinner somewhere else in a more, I would say, underground French restaurant, something a little bit more like Parisians would actually do. Because what we did on the 22nd was more what tourists would do in Paris. So one was a little bit more touristic. And then the next celebration with my friends, it's going to be a bit more authentic, let's say. And then I actually wanted to share with you a reflection that I had on the day of my birthday. I woke up and I thought to myself, well, today's my birthday. What is going to make me really happy today? Really, really happy today. And this is a reflection that I usually have. I usually ask myself in the morning, how could I be a little bit happier today? For example, today it's not my birthday, but I ask myself, how can I be a little bit happier today? And the answer was get some flowers and do your nails. So when I finish this day at work, and it's not my birthday, I will definitely go and get flowers to, cheer up my new apartment in Paris. And I will definitely go and do my nails. So it's a question that I usually ask myself. It's not a new question that I just asked because it was my birthday. And I definitely, definitely encourage you to ask yourself that question. How can I be slightly happier today? And it could be something simple like get a coffee in your favorite place, or just call that friend, or call your mom, or stay a bit longer in bed, whatever it might be that you need. But you will notice that sometimes tiny, tiny things can definitely have an impact on your mood. In my case today, the answer was do your nails and get some flowers. So that's what I'm going to do when I finish recording this podcast episode and then have two more sessions. But on my birthday, on the 22nd, which was on Tuesday this week, as the podcast comes out, I asked myself, what could I do today that would make me really happy? It's my birthday. So it's my birthday. I'm my own boss. I can do whatever I want. And the answer was create. Just have fun, create. And that's what I did. I could have done anything else. I could have taken the day off. I could have spent a bit more time with my mom. I could have done other things. But what I genuinely wanted to do was to create. And then I realized, I think the best gift I ever gave myself was pursuing my dream, pursuing my purpose, doing what I love. Now in October, we're in October 2024. It's 1 year that I have been full time in my business because I went full time in October last year, on the 3rd of October last year, 2023. And it's been 1 year that I have been full time on my business. Blisstopia, it's a bit older because, as you know, I was doing things in parallel. As I had my marketing director role, I also had the podcast. I trained myself as a coach. I started having clients. And then when I had a very interesting number of clients, then I decided to take the leap of faith, go all in on my business. And that was in October 2023. And it's been 1 year. And I think the best gift I ever gave myself was the gift of freedom, the gift of choice, the gift of happiness, the gift of being radically authentic and honest with myself and with others. And that's all because I was strong enough, crazy enough, delusional enough to go after my purpose, to have an idea and to actually execute it, actually execute and do what my heart was screaming, what my heart really wanted me to do, what my soul wanted me to do. So 1 year into being full-time on my business, and it's my birthday, and the thing that I want to be doing is to be creating. So I spend the whole day creating the next big thing for Blisstopia that I'm so excited to announce very soon. And I just spent the day listening to amazing music that put me in an amazing mood and creating this thing that I'm going to be showing up and sharing with the world in less than 2 weeks. So I think that's the most beautiful gift we could ever offer to ourselves. The gift of freedom, which means doing what you want to do, when you want to do it, with whomever you want to do it. And to me, that's the ultimate gift we can give to ourselves. The gift of freedom, which means the gift of having more choices, actually. And having that choice, I chose to be creating. I chose to spend my day creating something that makes me really happy, and I cannot wait to share it with you in the next 2 weeks. So that's a little story about my birthday and the meanings behind it, and then the gift that I've been able, this amazing and essential gift that I have been able to offer to myself and that I am so grateful for. And because it's also my birthday, if you feel like offering a little gift, you can head over to the platform in which you listen to the podcast and just leave a beautiful 5-star rating. If you listen on Spotify, you can give a 5-star rating. If you listen on Apple Podcasts, you can leave a 5-star rating and a comment. And this would really make my day. I post this on stories, and many of you already did it. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. You know how much love and wisdom and presence and creativity I pour into this podcast. So the fact that you take 1 minute and you rate the show, it would mean the world to me, because then we can reach more women with this show, we can impact more lives, and we can continue to change the world. So thank you so much for tuning in this week. It's a short episode this time. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please go to Spotify or Apple Podcasts and rate the show. Thank you so much in advance for doing that. I will see you on the next episode. And in the meantime, in Blisstopia we trust.